Hey there. Figured today we'll talk a little bit about engine timing. This is my 50 horsepower Mercury outboard that I run on my fishing boat with the jet pump on it. And I've had to do some work on it, so I figured now would be a great time to double check the ignition timing. So how this works is the flywheel is right here. This is connected to the crankshaft of the motor. And you'll see on the flywheel there's a belt drive that connects the distributor, which controls the spark, to the flywheel. And it's very important that this engine sparks at the correct time in order to develop full power out of the motor. So on flywheels, usually you'll see a couple of timing marks. And one of my timing marks here is labeled F, and the other one is labeled T. What these mean is F is called the firing mark. So the spark should go when these two marks line up perfectly. The T mark, when the T points right at this nut right here, my cylinder number 1 is at a position called top dead center in the motor. So what we'll do is we'll verify top dead center by taking a thing, putting it in the spark plug hole, and you can see the piston move. So when the piston comes right up to the top, you can kind of feel the engine rocking back and forth. And when I find top dead center, I can verify, yes, my marks are lined up. Okay, so that's good. It means my flywheel is on correctly. All right. Now, ignition timing is important because as the flywheel comes around, when we're at full power, we actually want the spark plug to shoot off and fire a little bit before the piston makes it to the very top. That gives the fuel charge some time to burn in there. And as the piston hits the top, that's when the piston is creating the most compression in the cylinder to get the most power that this engine can make. So if I fire late, we call that a retarded ignition. And what'll happen is the fuel won't completely burn until after top dead center, and the engine will not make as much power because when the piston's on the way down, the combustion chamber is larger, so I can't develop as much pressure. Also, if I fire before top dead center with an advanced, or before my mark, with an advanced ignition, this can damage the motor because the spark plug ignites the fuel charge and then it reaches peak pressure right here. And then the piston still has to push up against that pressure, and we can have a pinging noise in the motor or start bending stuff. It's not good. So the fire mark to top dead center, this angle here is set by factory spec. Okay, so I've put marks on here according to the specifications in the manual. And what we're gonna do is verify my ignition timing with the timing light. Now my motor doesn't have a battery, so I'm running an external battery that runs the light, and then the light has a pickup that I can attach to the spark plug wire that will send a signal when the power goes through the spark plug wire, okay? Now this timing is set, so we look at the cylinder number 1 spark plug wire, the one on the top here, and when I spin the motor with the drill, you'll see that the light flashes. And that flashing light is triggered by the pickup right here on the spark plug wire. Okay? So what we'll do is, I'll give Scott the light. That's on 0, eh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll give Scott the light, and what we'll do here is this angle of the distributor will change how advanced my timing is. Okay, so if I screw this in, it changes this, and now I believe the timing will be a little bit retarded. So we should see it firing after. So right about here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this screw until this mark and this mark line up with the strobe light. Okay, so let's see what we got. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, so we are a little bit retarded on the ignition because it looks like that under the strobe light. So we're firing after the fire mark. Okay, so what I can do is I can use my trusty Phillips screwdriver here on my adjuster, and if I back this out, I can advance the timing until it's too advanced, and we should see that timing mark flashing more like this now. Okay, then what'll happen is I'll screw this in until they line up, and then we'll be set. Then I can lock it down and my motor will run properly. Okay, ready, Scotty?
Yep, go.
Tell me when it's good. Keep going, keep going. Almost there. A little bit more. A little bit. A little bit more, just a little bit. One more turn. Good, okay. Okay, so hopefully you saw that the marks were lined up as I screwed this in now. And very important, before I move anything, you can see how I've got the screwdriver holding my position here. I'm just gonna snug that lock nut down. Like so. Now my ignition timing is set, and we'll just verify one more time with the light. Ready?
Yep.
Dead on. Dead on. Ignition timing set according to factory specifications on my 1961 Merc 500 two-stroke.